Drew, what's up, man?
What's up, Nate? How are you, man?
All right, today I want to kind of highlight the success you've been having at open houses. You know, you're one of our top performing agents here at Someday Homes, and we want to dive into what's working for you in today's market, especially when it comes to these open houses, building a sustainable referral-based business. So we'll just get into it. The first topic I really want to talk about is open house mastery. I know you've been crushing it. I know we've had a couple little conversations, and you're like, oh, I don't really do anything, but I think once we get talking about it and even looking at some of the notes, there's quite a bit to unpack here. So you've generated about 40 plus leads from open houses. I think that's a lot of leads, first of all. And you've closed a good number of them, about 10% of those, and then a couple more referrals. Is that 40 plus leads just from the beginning of the year?
Yeah. Everything started. Heck, I don't really think I started doing open houses here until maybe February or March.
All right, cool.
But
So
since
what's
then.
February or March? So in just a few short months, half the year or less, you've kind of landed a system that's generating business for you. So let's just get right into it. What's your open house strategy?
There's really not too much. The first one, I don't even think I put any signs out, but I have learned that the signs do help. So we definitely do put signs out. Sometimes I don't. That's probably me being lazy, but definitely put signs out. That'll get people in there, even if they're just curious and they get talking to you about real estate. Other than that, I'll normally post like a story the day before, maybe put it in some Facebook groups, maybe. And then other than that, whenever I'm in the house, I think this is kind of the big part of how you actually get the clients. I kind of let them go through. They come in, I introduce myself, let them go about their day and say, if you need me, come find me at the end. Obviously, there's going to be those sections where they're walking through the house and they pass by you. And I might kind of give them space, say some jokes or something light. I'm not
Okay.
like pounding them for anything. So I'm going very light on anything. But by the end, before they leave, I'm always trying to add something of value. I also don't bring any business cards, and you'll see why.
Okay.
So by the end, I'm like talking to them like, oh, are you looking in this area? And I do a lot of stuff off business. I work with a lot of investors. So I see these things all the time. And are they ever going to be a deal that works for these clients? I have no idea. But everyone loves to feel special. So I always tell these people, if you like this one, man, we just had one in this area that sold off market. And we probably did. And so that's what I do. And then these people get interested and they go, oh, tell me a little bit about that one. So I'll tell them. And then naturally they get more curious and they go, well, those aren't going to be on Zillow. Maybe I want to keep talking to this guy. So I'll go, yeah, if you're interested in stuff like that, like I get those all the time. Let me send you my number and I'll just keep updated with you. They'll be like, oh, do you have a card? I'll be like, unfortunately, I don't. I just ran out.
Right.
So then I'll be like, I got this though. And so they'll give me their number and then I'll text them. And really, I'll just send them my business card, let that chill out for about a day. Maybe by the end of the night, I'll like think about coming over. But the next day is when I kind of start everything.
All right.
How
So
about you?
So you do the open house. Obviously, you're putting it these are active listings. They're in the MLS, so they're getting data mined, Realtor.com, Zillow, etc. All those top websites, as well as I'm sure your own personal website where you're going in and making those changes, and then your Facebook page. You're kind of posting. So leaning heavily on the digital side versus, hey, I just put signs in. And I have to agree, most often when I was doing open houses, when you're like, hey, if I did ask, how did you know about this open house? We always saw it on Zillow earlier in the week and we've been planning on coming. Very, very rarely is it like, we were just out driving around and saw the signs. I know that still does happen, but I don't know. I haven't really seen those turn into really high-end prospects, right? The people who are just kind of cruising around. They're more kind of just window shopping. Yeah. So what do you think you do differently? Now, you mentioned you just kind of give people their space. And I have not had as much open house success as you. And so I feel like I do kind of the same thing where, hey, they come in, I do have sign-up sheets or whatever, typically info cards, and so usually I would greet them and be like, hey, here's the info on this house, and let me give you a quick rundown of the house, just highlight anything, especially with our new construction projects. But I heard you say earlier in the week that you just kind of like sit on the couch and play on your phone or something. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, normally, so what it is I'll just be pretending to work, even if I'm not. I'll be like,
Okay.
poke around on my email. I'll have my computer, because I'll even tell you this one I did yesterday, where I was just sitting on the couch playing on my phone. This house, I had a different reaction yesterday. So normally I'm like at a table or maybe on the couch on my computer, get up, introduce myself, let people walk through. Again, maybe some tidbits here and there while they're walking through it, nothing to like keep them from walking and doing their own thing. By the time they're leaving, I'm putting in a value of like, hey, if you're looking for this or you like this, you probably like this or X. Like I'm giving them something that they don't have, they can't get online. Like they have to get that through me because they don't have another
Okay.
connection for that. So I do that. Then they always want to be like, oh, just give me your business card and I'll call you when I'm ready. Well, I don't have any business cards,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I just run out. Look in my bag. I just gave out my last one every
Okay.
time. So then I get the number. So after that, then I'll like continue to look, and I deliver most of the time on what I said. Now, did I say that they would like any of these off-market properties? No, I never said you would like them. Most of the time they're distressed and they are completely not what these people are looking for, but it got me that hook and it gave me that trust.
Yeah.
And I'm sending them these off-market properties, and then every day I'm checking MLS, sending them new ones. And that's what I do all the time. And instead of just texting or just emailing, I'm calling first, next second, email like last option.
Okay.
But I'm calling every time to try to get that connection because I just feel like hearing somebody, you're going to gain that trust more than just reading a text.
Right. So you're giving them their space, allowing them to tour the property, and then you're, a little bit of salesmanship there where you're capturing the communication from them, and you are making them a promise, and then in your follow-up, you're delivering on that promise, and that's what delivers the trust. How quickly are you following up? How often? How long? Like, how long are these people if they're unresponsive? How long? I came across someone in my database that was in there from an open house like a year ago, and I had them labeled as unresponsive, and I kind of get to the point like, okay, I see that they opened the emails that I'm sending, but they haven't answered the phone yet. So give me a little bit of insight into your follow-up plan, how long it lasts before you cut them loose.
Again, all these leads are from this year. Everything I've generated is this year only. There is not a single person in my database that has not heard from me in less than a month. Every single person in my database hears from me at least once a month, whether it's email, call, or text.
Okay.
Specifically, though, with the open house leads, it's next day. I'm sending up a follow-up text, getting to know me. Like I'm sending on my Instagram or my Zillow, trying to make that connection. Like, hey, I'm just a normal person. I'm not here to push you, whatever the case may be. Trying to get some questions about like what's going on with your story. Why are you looking? What more are you looking for? Having that conversation. Sending houses every time I see one come up that's within their search perimeters, and I'm usually checking the coming soon to get it before it comes on Zillow, and I'm sending like a video through my phone. Because I can't share the link. So I'm sending them like, hey, this is coming up. On top of that, I'm following up with these people, phone calls for the first 10 days every single time. And then usually I'll start to kind of wean it back after about 2 weeks or so. They'll maybe get a call once a week. Then after that, if they're not answering, maybe it moves to like once every 2 weeks, but then they're getting emails and texts from me just about every other day. Everyone's on a rotation where they get in my database. If you're not pushed off to 6 months plus, to at least every 2 weeks, you're getting a phone call and a text from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen you post some of these in your stories about these emails that you send out. Like, I'm tied up, and if you respond to this email, I'll get to see my family again, or something ridiculous like that. Are you making those just for your Instagram stories, or is that really stuff that you're sending out to people who maybe are unresponsive after a while?
No, I mean, I'm sending that to people. Legit, I am sending that to people, but it's people that, I've tried every method. I mean, they probably have 90 calls from me. They've gotten countless texts. They've been on a drip campaign. They've gone through the emails. They get a monthly email from me. They get emails from me doing this. They're set up on a search on the MLS. They're set up on a search on my website. So they're getting hammered from like 10 different ways from me.
Yeah.
I've got no final straw. It's like, what do I have to lose here? I can make somebody laugh and maybe they respond.
That's it.
Or they don't respond anyways and I've got nothing. And I'm in the same boat I'm in right now.
Rather than get discouraged, you're like, let me just have a little fun with it, and you never know. Kind of just meet people there.
Yeah, because like part of me feels like I've got to reach out to this person some way anyways. Like, they didn't answer my call. I'm going to send them an email. What do I say in this email that's not the same salesy thing that I've said a million times? Let's joke around a little bit.
Yeah, I can feel that. So according to your notes, you've had about 40 leads. You've closed 4 of those, and then you've had like an additional kind of indirect. It's not just the direct leads, like 4 direct leads. These are people that walked in the open house. You followed with them. You saw it through to the closing. But then you've additionally got some people that came to open house and maybe referred you a couple more. So, I mean, you're sitting at like well over 10% closure rate on this, which I think is just, that's an incredible rate. Like, you can't buy leads and get a guarantee of 10% closure rate from the company that's selling you the leads. And at a brokerage like ours, where we've always got a new construction project going on, which is just so great. I've been doing open houses. You do them. Like, I'll do it one day, you'll do it next day. And it doesn't matter for the agents we have. Like, we're able to spread it out. I think I did one where like I went and knocked on doors, and then I had somebody else, actually held the open house. I do these like door hanger things that we print out, and then those are templates we're sharing more and more. So The next
Yeah.
segment, though, I want to talk about that leads us into it. Maybe you get some people from your open house and their timeline is like 6 to 12 months, but they're kind of just out cruising now. So obviously you want to put them into some sort of sphere of influence category, right? Some sort of long-term nurture, keep staying top of mind. A lot of agents kind of ignore their sphere, but you really invest in yours. What's your rhythm for staying in front of people who you already know, or they came to an open house and then their timeline's out, so you get to know them over time? How do you handle that long-term sphere of influence game?
Yeah, unlike a real good business owner, I'm just kind of sporadic with it, but I do have somewhat of a train of thought on it. But my biggest thing is trying to connect with everybody on socials. That's like the biggest thing to stay in touch with me, because I can stay on somebody's mind as long as I'm posting. And I don't have to be reaching out to them and getting on their nerves with a phone call like, oh, here's Drew calling again about real estate.
Right.
No, like I connect on the social media, and then they see me post social media all the time. They see me posting my life. They see me post a deal that happened here. They see me investing in this house, or they see us building this house, and you gain that trust through them. And so that's one thing. Like everybody I'm sending my Instagram to, I'm sending my Zillow to, I'm sending my phone number to, like they get all the socials. And in my emails, I always include my social media. I include it everywhere. I feel like that's a big thing with staying on top of mind for like sphere of influence. And then I do koozies. So like that's one thing I pass out to everybody. Like I have a million koozies and everyone has my name, and I'll even go out to places and just bring them with me and just pass them out to random people. So I do that. And then I don't shut up about it either. Like I do real estate and I let everybody know I do real estate because it only helps me.
Right.
And like with past clients, like handwritten letters, send letters all the time. I'll type them out. That's one thing that I do a lot of. I'm sure you probably seen me do mail. I'm sending letters to my past clients most of the time. Letting them like know what's going on with me, calling every now and then what's going on with them. And then I actually stole something from you that I've been telling people.
All right.
Only had one person end up doing this so far, so it didn't really turn out to anything. And who's one of my buddies anyways. But calling my past clients and telling them about like, hey, we're trying to do like a little steak dinner for like the top 4 people that refer.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That like people were like really intrigued with it, but like no one ever did it within the timeline except for my one guy, Steven. And like he's already my friend. So I was like,
make it a year out. Make the timeline a year out. Send me 2 referrals by next May. Make it really far out, almost like 10 months away. And I'm going to take you out to dinner. I'm not going to announce the place till we get closer, because then that gives you some time. And then as you get closer, you can understand, like, if you only have like 6 people, that's a real intimate setting. But if all of a sudden you got 20 people, I mean, who cares if you got to take 20 people out to spend like $4,000? That's 20 closings that you got from those people, right? It's well worth it.
To be there, they gave me 2 clients each, so
that's it.
Well pays for it.
Exactly. So I love that. That was something my coach gave me. The big thing I love about coaching program is you kind of get to, like, they aren't just working with you. They're working with a ton of other agents who are, it's like this idea sharing. It's kind of some of the value there. A little bit of kind of what we're doing there. So let's dive in. Let's skip ahead to social media then, because it sounds like you're using social media as a tool to connect with your sphere, but you're also using it for lead gen. How do you separate in your mind whether you're using it as a tool or whether it's a lead gen system, or is it all just kind of shooting from the hip and it comes together, on its own?
Yeah, I mean, I could, again, probably be a better business owner and get in touch with this and like come up with a plan with somebody who actually knows what the heck they're doing on social media. But I never really used it personally to post. Like I used it to scroll and waste my life until I started my business. And then it became a thing of like, well, this is just a free way to get in front of thousands of strangers. So really when I went here and I got off of a leads team and kind of had to start my own thing, I've just kind of made sure that like, I would love to post 5 times a day, but I can't seem to get the consistency there because it's a lot of work for me, honestly. It takes away from me doing other things. So really a goal is like 3 times a week at least, hopefully. And I collab with everybody that I do something with. So like if I do something with you, Nate, I'm going to collab with you. And if I do something with Brandon, I'm going to collab with Brandon or the brokerage or a restaurant. That's it. And I'm pushing out to people that aren't going to see me. And that social media has actually gotten me to be recognized by like people. Like I've had people come into open houses and be like, I've seen you on Instagram.
That's right.
Or like Matt and I will go to things and they'll be like, wait, I've seen you on Instagram. So
Yep,
it's
and you're touching on something there where you've got to, I don't know, there's probably some official term for it. I call it either like cross pollinating, right? You're at the open house, so you have a physical presence, but you also are doing social media and you're running targeted ads to those locations. So now you're there, as well as some other forms that we'll talk to in a moment. But then you're right, when the people come in, same thing with me, like these videos. I post these videos, and then when I'm at the community pool, someone approached me and they're like, "Hey, are you Nate Riggs? We recognize your voice from the videos." And then it
yeah.
sparked a whole conversation about it. Where if I wasn't putting those videos out and I was hanging out at the pool, I'm just another guy hanging out at the pool. But the fact that I'm consistently putting those videos out. And I will say this, I know you keep saying this, oh, I should be doing better, I should be doing better. I think we all kind of feel that way. But I will say, from agents I've known for all the years I've been doing this business, I mean, one thing you're doing is you consistently come to work every day and you treat this like a job, and there is no mistaking like who your identity and who your brand is. So many other agents are like, what? And you may feel this way. One week I'm trying this, the next week I'm trying this, but you're consistently in there and your brand is consistent. And I do see that and I recognize that. So keep that in mind as like, if you ever are feeling down, it's a rainy day, just be like, man, at least I know who I am. Right. So we talked about open houses. We talked about your sphere, and then also social media. A couple more things I want to cover. Online leads. This is somewhere else you're getting business from.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your results for that? What's working? What's not working? How do you know that that's your, lead source that you want to work?
So I don't know right now if that's exactly what I still want to do. I came from that background, a team that was getting Zillow leads, OpCity, which is Realtor.com, crushed those, translated very well for my business. So it was just something like, this is how you do this game. You get these people online, and it's just a part of it.
Right.
I've seen people do organic. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have a sphere here, so buying leads was like a thing for me to get in front of people. The Zillow and the Realtor.com are really great, but when you're a single agent doing it by yourself in a market where it's $5,000 just to get 2 leads on somebody that might have just inquired just to go look, is kind of a gamble. So I've tried to do some other methods. Go ahead.
It seems like from what I've seen, like single agents got into the Zillow game like 10 years plus ago when it was more affordable. And then as they continued to like bring on assistants and buyer's agents and grow their team, they put more and more into it to where now the price point has been driven up so high that if you're a single agent starting out, it's really tough. I definitely think we're in the era of teams, but I also think teams are slightly changing. I think that old team model where the team leader was just there to buy leads and dish those leads out, and then the agents were kind of like minimal control of their business. I think that's starting to fade, and I think we're seeing more of a team model like what we have at Someday Homes. Like the whole brokerage is a team. You come here and you don't have to worry about your branding. You don't have to worry about some custom, pseudo name for your business. You just lean on our team. You're still able to pick your lead source. You're still able to kind of put your money where it needs to go, and you still get a high, we have a low cut, low split, low cap, whatever. And you're able to operate in that team mentality, but also you're kind of on your own, which gives you freedom. And I think that really is kind of the future of what the real estate brokerage is, as people like you and me are out here looking for something fresh and different. So let's take all that together. I know that for me, it took a while to get like past client business. So I was doing real estate a long time ago, but all that business was old because I did something in the middle. And then I came back to real estate in 2018. So obviously all the business I was getting was new business through various methods and ways. And here we are in 2025 now, 6 years later, and I look at my list. Literally every single one: past client, referral, past client. Oh, here's an internet lead, right? Past client. So it's a great system like that. You're kind of probably still kind of in that phase where you're starting to probably think about transitioning from just new business to like past client, repeat business. So what systems are you putting in place that support all those other lead sources we just covered?
Yeah, well, so here's the thing too. Part of being on that old team that I was on, I'm not allowed to use any of my past clients for business.
Okay.
Legally. So it's fresh. I mean, I still talk to them and use them for referrals, can't transact with them. So other than that, the only other things that I'm doing the social media, I'm doing the open houses, I'm making sure that I'm showing up every day. But like I'm filling time with calling So like I came from a place where with those online leads, you got to call and you follow up. And then all the old ones that weren't there or didn't transact to somebody else or were dead leads for somebody else, I was the one always asking for them in the office. Like, give me the old ones, give me the dead ones.
Okay.
And I was showing up and I was calling those every day. And that's how I got so busy at my other brokerage and stayed at the top of the brokerage, because when I didn't have anything to do, I had something to do by calling all the leads that other people said were dead.
Right.
So where do you go when you don't have that? Well, luckily in this business, you can get something like RedX for like $120 a month. You can call FSBOs, which is for sale by owner. You can call expireds. You can pick a neighborhood and call a neighborhood. I lean on the expireds, partly because they've already worked with the realtor. That realtor, maybe they didn't interview them well enough, or that realtor just didn't do the job, and that seller's probably frustrated. They're going to be angry at you when you answer the phone at first, but they already trusted a realtor before. And if you can just make them realize like, hey, maybe you should have interviewed a little bit more. You should have been asking the right questions. And you can make them realize that on the phone. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be open to having a conversation with you. And now there's no beauty in doing the expireds. I mean, I call 2,500 people a week. I sit there for 2 hours every single morning, Monday through Friday, and I may get 3 real right numbers on the phone that morning. Right. So you do 3 times 5, that's 15 people that I might get to talk to that I might transact with. And maybe I don't know. I get about 3 people a day that I could add to my database that might actually transact. And, but those have given me business. I've gotten 4 closings from that this year with another referral from one of those. So that's 5 transactions. And it's not a ton, but coming to a place like Someday Homes with a 90-10 split, and I pay $120, and so we're in the 8th month, say I've paid $800 and I've made some dollars off of doing these expires. I think the ROI is there to just spend a little bit of time doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. And you did touch on something there. It's been kind of an ongoing theme out the whole entire conversation. There is a cost of sales, and it's whether that's your time or whether that's some sort of financial backing. There is a cost of sales. I think a lot of people get into this industry, even people who are doing 3 to 9 transactions a year, kind of at that average agent level. And I think you can easily do 3 to 9 transactions a year just by consistently posting and not doing much paid. But I think if you want to get to the top 2% where you're doing 20, 25 transactions plus as a single agent by yourself before you start to think about bringing on assistants and other people, I mean, to get to that 20, 25 transactions, like there's going to be a cost, whether that's something like RedX, like you mentioned, or whether that's print mail that you're sending out, or some sort of, even the subscriptions to, like I use Metricool. We talked on social media posting. I use Metricool to schedule out all of my postings. So I'll take a day like today, after we record this, I'll edit it and then I'll chop it into shorts, reels, and then I'll schedule it all out over the next course of the next month based on the schedule that I came up with. But I'll do it all today in one day, but that comes at a cost. You know, I'm trading like the cost of Metricool for my time to do other activities throughout the rest of the week. So that's good. So for any agents watching this that want to level up, maybe doing a few deals a year, want more consistency, what do you think your biggest piece of advice for them to do today?
So my brother is one of those. He's in my house. I actually had a conversation with him this morning. And I think the biggest thing for agents getting into this business is you have to still work. You want to be the realtor and have this cool job where you can go and do what you want to do and you don't have to take much time. And if you don't put in the work to your business, you're not going to get paid and you're not going to be doing this business long. So treat it like you are your boss. If you show up late to work, you would fire yourself.
That's it.
Treat it like that. There's always something you can be doing. Maybe you don't have the money at the start. Open houses are free. Go sit in an open house. Go play on your computer and sit in an open house every day of the week. Somebody will come into one of them. And you just need to start having conversations. You don't know anybody, go sit open houses. You don't have any listings, call other agents, get their listings. Somebody's going to be happy that their seller's happy with them for doing another open house. On top of that, if you have $500, maybe you're not good at the phones, but you have that pays for 4 months of the RedX. Go watch the scripts on YouTube. $500 can turn you into, say you sell a $150,000 house, there's $3,000 right there.
That's
plus.
it.
And that pays for the whole thing. And you're never going to get good at it if you don't try. But if you show up every day, you set the time, you do it, you will learn it, you will get somebody. It just takes one person to say yes for you to get started.
That's right. That's great advice. Great advice for anybody out there. Drew, thanks so much for sitting down to talk to me, giving some insight into your, your strategy, how you're doing your business. I know sometimes as agents, especially when we're single agents or whatever, we are kind of closed off. Like, I don't want to give everybody my secrets, right? You know, you feel like you're in competition with people at the office. I think that's what's great about our brokerage. We're building this culture that is like, that's the team model I'm talking about. It's not just like, hey, what yours is mine, but you know, with this select group of people that we're working with, we all obviously want to share it. For anyone out there, either an agent who wants to know more or wants to connect with you, find out more about your business or our brokerage, or even for sellers or buyers who have been watching any of this and they want to get in contact with you, what's the best way for someone to contact you?
You can call me. Call me 662-216-9282, or agents questions, hit me up, or my Instagram, Drew Kaz, Kaz _Realtor.
All right.
Jack's Realtor. Drew Kaz _Jack's Realtor.
Perfect, man. Thanks so much for sitting down and talking with me.
Yeah, of course, Nate.